Hello. This is a quick little project that I want to do because I had this idea a while ago, and I've got an addition to this that I want to make that is going to make it a lot nicer. So what I have here are two power strips. These have LEDs in them, so you can tell when they're on. They are switched to the on position, but they are connected to a momentary and a latching foot pedal for controlling power. This makes it so that I can have power that is safe and easy to control. In particular this one, but this one as well. So let's say I'm testing a new piece of hardware that I don't necessarily trust, like maybe a typewriter from the 40s. It has a giant capacitor in it that I don't really know how good it's doing. I can apply power by just putting my foot down on a pedal and then let it run for a bit. And then if it seems like it's doing okay, I can switch it over to the other power strip, use the latching one, and then the idea is that it's really easy and far away from the device that's under power. If something goes wrong, that I can push power on the foot pedal while I'm away to cut power to make the situation safer. It would probably be smoking or on fire or something, so it's not going to be safe, but safer. So that's my idea here is foot pedals. I'll link these in the description below if you want to find them. I did get them on Amazon, and the links will be the ones that are affiliate links where I make money. There's Amazon disclosure so they don't yell at me. Anyway, what we're going to do today is modify this one because there's something that I think would be really cool, and that would be adding a fuse holder to this, because currently this just cuts power or not, and I think it would be really cool to have a fuse on the back here so that I could put underrated fuses in here. So if something, say, shorts, it can pop that fuse. Now, another way you can do this is with a dim bulb tester, but this goes on the floor next to my foot. I don't exactly want an incandescent bulb on there. I can kick and shatter, and I could just put a dim bulb tester somewhere else. So the idea is we're going to put a panel mount fuse socket on here, and then I will be able to use fast blow fuses, and it's the 5x20 size here with this, so that if something goes wrong, this pops instead of the breaker box that I don't have the keys to. Now the way these work is kind of weird, and I don't like it, but it's not like I can redesign this part. So it's a plug that has, like, it's one molding, it's part of the cable. I think this side just goes straight through. This side goes off to the cable and then comes back, and then a switch connects this side, which actually means that you don't have access to power across live and neutral because it has to go through the device under test first, which means that I can't put like a light bulb in this anyway, unless I put it in series, which I don't want to do. Because I was thinking it would have been cool if I had a power on light, but then it would have been in series and that would cause other issues. So yeah, that doesn't work, but we can put a fuse in here. So this is now fully isolated, and let's go ahead and get it open. All right, this is really, really basic inside. First off, there's a gasket because I think they intend you to be able to use this outside with like woodworking tools and stuff. But inside, we've got a big old paddle that just pushes up on a regular micro switch. It's nothing special, and you could actually replace this switch if you wanted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back off the mounting grommet thing here, which, by the way, you have to install yourself when you first get this because the box is not physically long enough to have it attached. So there are some pennies being pinched. What on earth is that? That's weird because I've not got this wet. Did it squeeze plasticizer out of the cable? Do I want to be not touching that? Anyway, I want to disconnect the thing here and then loosen this so that I can get the wire to move a little more freely and have some space to work. Okay, you know what? Pass. We're not loosening that. Jeez, last thing I need is that wiggling around. Okay. Okay, I was kind of hoping to be able to remove this while I drilled so there wouldn't be, you know, metal bits flopping around the power switch. But I guess that's not happening. The reason I'm not crazy about trying to remove that with it being so difficult is that this needs to put up with the force against the foot pedal. And if it like breaks the threads or something, it's trash. And it's not cheap to get one of these. So we're just gonna go ahead and leave that. So we'll figure out a different solution. My only goal here is to drill a hole right here and then solder this, which, yeah, that wire is a lot less substantial than the one that's in there, between here and that. You know, do I have just better wire? Yeah, those don't really... All right, so as I said, we're gonna go ahead and use the wires that are soldered to the fuse holder. That way, you know, we don't have to do anything risky with trying to get other wire out of a different cable. That would be really, really hard. Okay, so we can't actually do anything with this until we get it mounted because we have to put the hole in so we can pull the wires through and then pull it up to the panel mount. So this is where we now have to actually drill the chassis, which is where I've got this super weird thing for this. This is a vise. So this is a vise that articulates so that I can hold the pedal at whatever angle kind of makes the most sense to be able to do the drilling with. And then I additionally have for it somewhere around here, here's the box, I have rubber grips that go on the jaws so I don't mar up the surface. And so they can get a better grip on the smooth surface here, depending on which one I go with, because this is going to be a little weird to grab onto. So maybe that, yeah. So I can clamp that down, that's secure, and then I can pull it up. That'll do. So again, the goal is to drill into this side. So let me go ahead and mark this. All right, so I've got a mark in Silver Sharpie right here. I could try and scratch this in a little bit. Actually, I can get through the paint pretty good. There we go. So that'll give me somewhat of an actual starting point. And I've got several different drill bit options, but I'm going to start with a set of actual metal drill bits here to begin with. All right. You know what? I would like to not rain metal shrapnel down onto the stuff inside, like I mentioned. Let me really quick. I'm going to tape that over there. Okay, hopefully that'll act as like a chute, and everything I drill will come out of there. I can do the same thing again with tape over it. All right, now let's try this. I am resisting the urge to touch it. Look, we're a machine shop. Oil. All right, I'm going to step them up one more time here, and then this one I want to run through. I got one of them ideas that's like, you know, I won't regret this. Okay, there is the pilot hole. All right, so now I'm just going to do a couple of jumps up in size with different bits before we settle on the final bit. I don't like that. Oh, I know what the deal is with this one. I might want to skip this one. Final size before we have to use the step bit. Okay, so my original intent was to jump from that to this. That does seem a little aggressive. Let's see if we can do one step in the middle. So this one, yeah, that fits. Okay, so I'm going one step. Wow, that is really hard to keep track of. I am aware of the tape trick, don't worry. This one just like chips it. Oh my gosh. This drill isn't happy. Actually, I might want to go one more step even. I can't really... Yeah, I think it's got to be one more step. Okay. And is this battery dead? Pfft, who charges batteries? You just keep swapping back and forth between them. Am I right? Problem is I never want to leave them on the charger when I'm not here, which means I need to charge them when I'm here. But I don't want to be here just to charge a battery. All right, we'll just give it a moment for the other one to charge. Up enough to just do one more hole. I can see that this is working out well. It's containing them all. Oh God, they're all over the ground. I did not have a plan for this. Well, I'm just gonna clean up some metal shavings here really quick. Power roller activate! The best part about this vacuum is how ridiculously good it is. I'll just leave this out because there's going to be more metal shavings in a moment. All right, this battery's probably charged enough. We can continue. I won't bzz it because we need every last bit we can get. Okay, we need one more step. Battery, don't fail me now. Wow, that was slightly more powerful than when it started. There we go. And boom. All right. And there's like just a couple little pieces in there. Okay, that looks pretty good, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get all of the metal shavings out of here. That sounds like a fun time. So I'm going to cut this wire off because this will reach. So we don't need this wire. That white wire already has heat shrink on it. But we'll add heat shrink on this side. Okay. And before we touch anything, we mount it. Okay. I did not leave a lot of room for this side. I got kind of lucky. This is barely going to work. Okay, I think that'll do. All right. There is one side down. Let's get a little piece of shrink tubing on the other wire. That's a lot of wire, man. You know, that's fine. We can make that work. Actually, I'm kind of liking having this thing in the vise. I was not... it's actually kind of nice. If I was working on like guitar pedals or stuff, I would definitely use one of these. There we go. Hold on, I'm going to use the other foot pedal to activate my hot air station to shrink tube this. Does it need to be the foot pedal? No, but that's the most convenient outlet right now. Eyeing that wire hovering over the moving bit. We can control that later. Yeah, so that won't be able to touch the pedal. Okay, so that is the inside done. So we've got the power comes in through the black wire here, goes through the switch. The switch connects over to this wire, which goes to one end of the fuse, and then the other end of the fuse, which connects to this white wire, will go back out to the connector. So now let me grab a fuse. The fuses holders themselves came with some. I don't know what they're rated for. 15 amp. Doesn't really do me a whole lot. 10 amp, that's better. So I believe that should still pop before a breaker, but right now the goal isn't necessarily to pop the fuse. If I'm testing a device that has a particularly low power rating, I can drop in an even weaker fuse from a kit of them I have. So say 1, 5, you know, actually really these would be the only two I'd swap in. I need a better kit. I bought this because I thought it was fast below of all 5x20s, but they were mostly 6x30s. I got kind of screwed. So I'll buy more 5x20 values, and that'll let me pick more intermediary ones. 5 is probably going to be the most useful though, so definitely want to make sure I get more of those. But now, what I should be able to do, I'm going to take the cable, connect to one end here, one end there, and we should get nothing, no beeps or anything. And now I'm going to have to kind of let it out of the vise. There we go. Now I should be able to press this. There we go. Press it again. Bingo. And then we can unscrew this and it will cut power. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and reassemble this and we're good. I will have a fused foot pedal now. Boom, look at that. That really seems like it came that way. That's nice. And my favorite part is we got the Futurama thing with this. If I do my job right, we'll never be able to tell that I did this at all. Because hopefully I detect that something is awry with the device before it explodes in my face. Okay, that should be the foot pedal done. Let me grab the entry point power strip. I don't want to hear about me plugging power strips into power strips. This is how life is, okay? We're going to plug power in for the pedal. I don't remember what state this is in, but the only test device we're going to have here is a kilowatt. So let's see. Boom. Working. That is going to be super duper nice. So I have the other pedal here, and like I showed, that one turns on the other power strip. Now I do have one final thing that I want to do for both of these actually before I wrap this up, and that is to mark these. So this power strip is connected to this device, and this power strip is connected to this device, but on the surface, when I unplug the kilowatt, there's no way of knowing. So I'm gonna put different colored tape on here. This already has some orange on it, so we're gonna put orange on this, and then this is already kind of blue, so we're gonna put blue on this, and then put the tape on the perimeter of the matching power strip. So let's go ahead and do this. I like how I'm just covering up the orange print with orange tape. Okay, so that one's marked with orange, and now all right, so now it's extremely obvious those two go together. This tape's a little too big, but we'll just pretend that's not a problem. Ideally, I would like to get another color of vinyl tape like the other one is, so maybe I'll replace this in the future, but for now, this will do. And I'm just gonna cut the corners and fold it over on the bottom. And there we are. So, very obviously differentiated, I already turned this off, very different uses, but two things that'll help me be a little safer. Bonus thing here, having the binder clips be used for cable management that lets you move them across the workbench. Super duper handy. Well, hopefully that is helpful to someone, because it's kind of a cool idea. I like these foot pedal things. Definitely this one in particular is really cool, but this one also is really good and will be useful for stuff. So they're just both gonna have their place. But that is it for now. If you enjoyed this video, you may want to subscribe to be notified when I release another one. If you want to help support the channel, you can find me on Patreon. But for now, that's it, and I will see you